Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Radiant team pick. Radiant
nice.
team ban. Five seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Razor.
¡Oh, por Dios!
10 seconds
Hola.
remaining. Radiant team
正来又反哺啦！
Dire
Morphling.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Points away.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Choose your hero.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, we're ready here in Singapore for Game 2 of Evil Geniuses versus Thunder Awaken. Fogged, what do you sort of read from this draft change-up that we're getting now in this second game? Do you think EG's going to have a bit of a better shot, or is this again one of those situations where at a certain point it could become a little too much for them to deal with? It was a very action-packed Game 1 and little too action-packed for EG to cope with.
I mean, it's Morphling has been a problem a lot of times in this tournament, so it could be one of those games. He does have these matchups, you know, he can turn into the Razor, he can turn into Pango, turn into SF, does have a lot of really good things that he can do as this Morph. Could be a bit scary if it gets to those later stages. EG, I think they want to, you know, do what they've been doing most of the time. Set that pace, set that tempo, get a good early advantage, because their draft, it's very strong around some good early timings. They can fight constantly, not really too cooldown reliant, strong lanes. So let's see how Thunder comes out of these lanes this time, because I do think this time it should be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and of course, you know, Thunder's approach with the draft, the way they close it up, something that they're very flexible with, of course. Dark Margo on the Tiny, this Tiny core support, it's going to be fantastic from Thunder Awaken. They'll do it very, very well in both positions, and allows them to end the draft with a Lion. Not something that a lot of other teams will do, but definitely gives that extra bit of threat, that instant catch, instant hex, that for heroes like that, the Pango and the SF could catch them by surprise. And once again, not the biggest amount of sort of defensive capabilities that EG's heroes can offer if they get jumped.
Yeah, not till later on, until when they have like the Marcy Shard, if he perhaps wants to go for something like that, to go for some type of saves. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. I'm really curious how to see this line is going to work. I do like seeing it come up more, especially when you're playing into something like Marcy. Having double disables when you have just a damage dealer as well too is just always amazing. See what Matthew's going to be able to do with Sacred. Let's see how they actually pair these lanes. Do they actually put Fly with the SF and the Marcy with the Razor? Because that's more than likely what we'd imagine.
The battle begins.
Let's have a look. I mean, we saw, of course, start of last game, I think pretty much up to the 20-minute mark. It's kept very, very close between both teams. When you look at the lane setups this time round, do you think we're going to see a similar story, or is there the potential for someone to get heavily harassed out of the lane early on?
I'm just not sure how this top lane, it's just the Lion has to be really careful to not get caught at level 2, pretty much, from the clockwork, because then he just dies immediately. Besides that, I think Thunder should be okay. We'll see how they do bottom. Sometimes this can be a little volatile, because Marcy just does so much in laning phase, even though Morph has ways to break Link, you can pull him back in and stuff like that, so we'll see how that first few waves goes, at least for Bakaz.
And what about this mid lane matchup? Dark Margo Tiny against Starbed's Pango. What do you expect out of this?
Mago should be just fine. Abed should be able to get some decent farm, but I think Mago should come out ahead. He's just so comfortable in these matchups.
Talking about comfortable, you know, Bakaz this game, Morphling. I mean, how well he was able to play on the Bloodseeker in terms of just being able to know perfectly the hero's limits. And if you want to play a hero that you can really push to its full potential and play around those sort of risky situations, Morphling, this is sort of the next step from the Bloodseeker, right? You know, you've got to be prepared to see Bakaz juggling around his HP, his agility to a perfect balance.
Yeah, it really is exactly that, right? Those are the two highest volatility heroes when you're just trying to push the limits. Is top.
So they're set up for the kill here. Fly with the chase down. Fairy Fire's there from Matthew, but a few more hits of the Battery Assault will get the job done for EG. First blood for Fly.
It's a little worried about this one. They actually did it before the level 2 even comes out for the clock, where they just come in. Almost getting both heroes too. Sacred, thankfully for him, TPs to the tower, but they do force them both away.
And I imagine this time round on the bottom lane, unlikely that we sort of see Nightfall in a dangerous position as he was in the early laning stage in game 1. Is this really a lane where Thunder Awaken can look for kills early, or is it pretty safe for EG?
He should be pretty safe. He just has to be a little bit careful how much he trades when he does have like the Link building up, how much the Lich has, how much distance the Lich has to get like multiple nukes off. So lane positioning is going to be important for EG.
EG can see themselves very much primed and ready to try to get a kill out of this lane themselves.
They're going to go on Bakaz right away. Yeah, he has the adaptive level 2, so
he's going to take quite a hit on the way out here. Crit trying to block him up, shifting into that strength. Will manage to survive. Has to be careful in this lane. Some sort of misplay here or caught out at low HP. Bakaz could get burst down by these two. They've got great ways of getting that damage in from the distance, whether it's Crit throwing themselves in on top of him, flipping him at the edge of the circle.
Yeah, until he has that waveform, it can be a bit of a risk. double ways to keep him on that lane. The top.
Top lane.
Nice
Bit of a
connection.
turnaround. Fly has got the fairy file. Drop down the cogs, but Sacred one more hit's all he needs. He's not going to be able to get it.
Oh, the cogs.
Fly's able to get out, and now Sacred's got to back away. Mango's at the ready. Arteezy beginning to stack up the raises. And they have to keep their distance.
They are. Last hits on Sacred. Sure, you see the 9 last hits on the Razor as well too, but he's just constantly sitting like half or below that on the HP. Clockwork SF lane a lot harder this time around.
Absolutely, a very nice duo to play with in the lane.
Yeah.
Fly just being able to charge and get on top of a hero with the battery assault and just providing that control for Arteezy to line up the raises.
And this is actually a pretty big thing to actually talk about here. So on the retreat there, Fly going back to base gets a half pull. So what it's going to allow is now the wave is going to go back into the tower for the Shadow Fiend. So actually a pretty impactful play coming out from that clock.
See bottom lane. Despite sort of the harassment that EG are applying to Picard, he's still farming safe.
Still is.
17-7 against Nightfall's 13-5.
And look at, not even going for the waveform, not even a 3. Just going for 2 points in adaptive.
That's confident.
It's cool too, because now they do have burst damage where maybe Nightfall can die.
That's
now
true.
it's a lot of magic damage.
Very much so. They've got good follow-up as well from Panda to sort of just be able to slow down EG if they're ever trying to chase this more, giving Picard the space to just simply walk back under the safety of his tower. See top lane.
Sacred.
Setting up onto Sacred here, the cogs.
Be okay.
Stage the raises, even if they stack up, not quite enough to burst through the high HP of the Dawnbreaker.
Nightfall, they're literally just burning the raindrops. Bottom lane, Nightfall just got his delivered pretty much. It's down to 2 already. They're just constantly spamming him out, making sure they can potentially go for that type of kill if they do go for an overcommitment with the Link. Yeah, because he's chilling down here.
And it's really causing this sort of state of the lane where EG not really able to put as much pressure onto the Picard's morph in this early stages as maybe as much as they thought they might be able to get away with.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to maybe get at least one type of catch onto maybe Glitch or something like that to enable the Razor to shut down this morph a bit. But yeah, because Falcon Blade's done, he's gonna continue free farming. We haven't got a chance to look at the mid lane much. He does now, of course. Waveform is picked up at 4. And they
Stun round
Panda.
They should get Panda here with the rebound stun.
Oh,
It's actually still got the Fairy Fire, and in fact with that, he will manage to get out ready as well. Panda able to stick around. Still got 2 mangoes to play with. Top lane. Set him onto Fly with the stun in the hex.
he got the battery salt off
He's
though.
able to put a stop there to the Starbreaker of Sacred. Fly up to the high ground in time. Last hit not enough to take him out. And now Arteezy, he might be able to line up some kills himself. Looks towards the Dawn. Sacred might look for a neutral deny, and he's not going to get it. Arteezy able to get the last hit in time. Gets the kill before the deny can be found.
Little bit of a slip up there, Thunder. They don't get the chain stun to not allow that battery assault. If he doesn't get battery assault, they probably get the kill on the clock, but does get that little mini stun to stop the Starbreaker. Runes being checked. This first time we actually put any emphasis on mid lane. It's pretty much even.
And pretty much, yeah, 35-5 against the 32-6. Arbed going to be very happy with that Arcane Rune. They've got to be extremely careful on the side lanes as well now, Thunder Awaken.
Absolutely.
High chance that Pango turning up and looking to fight.
Yeah, and let's see if they put any emphasis to slow down Abed, because let's see what build it's going to be. I think we imagine it's going to be that Diffusal, but he's got the Corrosion done, and that could be one of those things that could cause some problems for the Morph.
It's true, it's an excellent Diffusal game across the board.
Yeah, even versus the Dawn and everything, right?
Yep,
These
low
strength
HP.
cores, strength, low mana, etc.
Low mana.
Yep.
Indeed.
Be big.
Mid
So, yeah,
lane.
we do see a move already just to fill up for the bottle since he didn't get the rune. And, I say that. He actually did not get the fill up. He did not have an inventory slot. Whoopsie.
Fortunate that he's at least full HP, but not the best of situations there for Dark Margot.
It happens. Farming just fine. Phase Boot's done. To work with too. We see Panda backing up and getting some stacks. Right now, 2-0.
Can you try for a play here between the two of them?
I like this.
Smoke up from the mid, and they're going to head straight towards the top lane. Not before EG's already there themselves, though. Both supports flying crit, ready to start setting up the play. Sacred will get the hammer out. Comes away, but Arteezy closing in upon him. The TP's coming in, and now Dark Margot with the 2-man avalanche. He's going to look for the toss back, finds it onto crit. Stun now from Matthew onto Arteezy. They're able to lock down the SF, take out 2. Even more here. Panda still has the slow here, applied to Fly, but backups in terms of Arbed. Arbed, see if we can get some kills in return off the back of this Rolling Thunder. Good angle onto Panda, but there's 4 heroes here, and Arbed cannot try and pressure for more. He has to back away, not able to turn around this fight and find anything in return there.
I love Thunder, how they play around the understanding of, SF, it's a weak hero in the early game. It's very fragile, so able to punish it nice and early.
See, Crew actually jump in aggressively around the power in spawn. Will end up being down bottom, DD. So if they can burst through Crit for this, they certainly can. Toss back into the stun. Thunder and take another kill around the river.
Panda, how many times has he tipped Crit already in this series? Oh man, great rotations though, as we saw. Just knowing exactly how to punish this Shadow Feed, very squishy early, good moves. And now Sacred getting a good connection under the tower.
Fair bit of damage onto Arteezy here.
Yeah.
Fine though, does have a few 1 charges, good to go as well. So he'll still remain safe on this top lane.
But the fact that they're making these moves, forcing reactions, making Crit even go top. Look at Pakaz, he's got the free lane, the free farm, with no attention put onto him now. Panda?
Go for the TP out, but the damage from Nightfall underneath his ultimate, far too much for Panda to TP out from.
Cute little attempt though, he cut the tree, got in the fog for like a quick second there, but yeah, not.
Dota 打得也忒好了。
3-3. EG with a slight gold lead overall. 9 minutes in. Operations are being made here in the triangle of Thunder Awaken. Stacks will begin.
Yeah, they're gonna work on those now, it looks like. Perhaps Smago. Nicely enabled from these stacks, honestly. The phase boots this early done with the blink's gonna be done probably within the next like 3-4 minutes too. That's gonna apply tons of pressure. These squishy heroes, and look at all of the heroes on the side of EG. The 3 cores, all agi cores. So strength gain kind of minimal. So could definitely see Dark Mago have a pretty explosive game in the next few moments.
And especially when you consider the lineup that he has around him, right? Everybody's got a fair bit of damage to throw into the combo.
It feels like that's just the Thunder style, right? We saw last game, Luke's on every single hero. This time it's very similar. Not bad.
He's gonna step up.
Got the solar.
With the hex into the stun, he's dead. A quick catch there from Thunder as Arbed not prepared for that move at all, or maybe feeling that Crit would somehow be able to bail him out, but of course no options were there for Crit to be able to save Arbed. Thunder, they'll now step up for more. Fly stepped into the river. They'll pick up both kills. And at the same time, bottom lane, it's actually Pakaz that's draining Nightfall. And with the static link and the adaptive strike, Nightfall,
he's so
close to dying here. Not quite a minute. He's going to have to field in a second. The mana's putting up. Oh my god! It's not enough to kill him. He's still trying to push on, but the TPs are coming in. Pakaz, he gave it his best shot. He nearly gets it there, but he won't. EG able to punish him. I mean,
what a play.
He was going to go for that kill in every possible universe there could ever be.
I mean, that's still so nice because of Nightfall. Like, he actually rebought his raindrop charges earlier, and that's actually the thing that allows him to live because of this overchase. Raindrop protects from that plasma field, all the little things. Pakaz tries to push the limit, gets punished.
I'm sure he'll be telling his team Space Maid here.
Oh, yeah.
Mid-tier 1 tower. Only taking a fair bit of damage from Thunder Awaken.
Yeah, he's like, Zeus, ult, please. Mago, though, as we said, got that double kill. Probably the most important thing to talk about. That blink's going to be coming out super fast. And yeah, very fragile cores on the side of EG until they start getting some HP items.
That really is the thing, how prepared will EG be to deal with this early blink dagger?
Yeah, I mean, Nightfall's going to have to be the one to kind of stand as the frontliner as this Razor, as we've seen many times. But he's not having the best of games as this off-lane Razor.
Seconds and Sacred will be ready to back up any sort of move they make around the map, and indeed in sync with that they'll look to make the smoke play.
They've
look
got
to set up.
They've got more than enough burst for anybody.
They've got all the ults. I mean, top lane, EG, smart move from them to get aggressive onto Sacred. He's the one that provides the global backup. If they take him out, there's nobody that's able to bail him out.
Nightfall knows. He's like, wait a minute, nobody reacted top. Oh god. He knows he's going down here.
Yeah, they'll throw out the ults. See Matthew putting back the finger. Wants to make sure that he's got that at the ready. No need to farm unnecessary stacks at this stage. It's a long cooldown level 1. You make sure you have that for the next kill.
They could look to actually make the move again, and Dawnbreaker respawning can TP somewhere and Solar Guardian into the next team fight.
Absolutely, yeah. So. Saving the finger for the next kill. Matthew, he's very ready to go. We'll see, in fact, TPing up towards the top.
He TP'd, Matthew actually TP'd mid. They saw Abed for a quick second. Oh.
Matthew coming over towards mid. Sacred he'll be the one to head back top, continue to clear out the waves.
Matthew TP'd pretty much like from the hard camp near the outpost to the mid lane, just really trying to kick up that pressure, have a very paced early game. Even again, just like the last game, after lanes.
Dyer's top tower
This is it. We'll see if this catches out Sacred again. I mean, once more, EG, they know at this stage you make the moves towards the door. That's the cleanest thing they can do.
Reveal.
In lane, Dark Margot will indeed find the jump onto the Marcy. And at the same time, the move's made onto Sacred. TPs will come in this time round, and Sacred able to pull himself back to the safety. The rest of his team with the hammer. EG not successfully able to take down the Dawn this time round.
He's not an easy kill. I mean, look at this Dawn. With the Falcon Blade, with the Bracer, 1600 HP. They have to commit so much. If he just gets the hammer out every time, they don't have that follow-up disable. And now, Matthew, as we said, still holding on to that finger. It feels like he just wants to use it on Arteezy exclusively.
Absolutely, yeah, he's been very controlled with this. And it definitely hurts for EG. They know that threat of the burst will be there. They're going to try for Sacred once again. This time Sacred a little further up than before.
Got the hammer.
Get the hammer out, but the cogs are down. Has the backup of Matthew and Panda. Ken Frost is there. Fly, hook shots out. They're taking out Sacred this time. Matthew ready to burst through. Fly with that finger, finish him off. Arbed will turn up from the side to make sure they get a second, but Dawn goes in with a bling, and here's the buyback. Dawnbreaker, Sacred ready to fly over towards the fight and turn this around as it's a double kill for Matthew. Crip tries to run, the tree will chase him. The Sacred ready to dive in underneath this tier 1 tower. Crip trying his best with the jukes. Not doing a bad job about it at all.
They see him now.
I do indeed. You can only hide there for so long as Thunder take him down. And they'll take out the tier 1. A solid buyback there from Sacred.
Thunder is really on some next level stuff. We saw this in the last game too, just constantly looking for the fights. EG probably was like, oh, we're good, you know? He's dead. He's not coming back. Who buys back in 14 minutes like this? Great play again coming out. Thunder really understanding how to take these fights.
Dyer's top tower has fallen.
Now, once again, as in game 1, still overall close between the two teams. Both carries in a very similar spot. Cars and Arteezy within a few hundred gold of one another.
But seeing this Morphling having this type of game is definitely some concerns for EG. As the panel mentioned, sure, they've got this Rolling Thunder, they've got the Marcy Stun and stuff, but they don't really have like these silences. Morphling will be able to always survive, probably versus the Burst. And he does have that matchup. I mean, turning into Pango, turning into Razor, he's got a lot of different things that he can do here on this Morph. EG, these next few moments feel like they're pretty crucial. Abed, Diffusal is done. They can actually find a kill here. This could be what allows them to get the
Oz would be the big one. Very quick with the waveform. Fly not able to catch him with a hook shot in time. Does have Sacred around. On the mana though, will try and swing forward with the Celestial Hammer, and indeed EG, they won't continue to chase. They know it's highly likely that Picard has got more backup behind him. Able to get away from that smoke. EG not quite able to execute that initiation as they wished for.
No, they're trying to find the moves, but yeah, just as we said, the Morph is going to be a big problem for them to ever try to kill. And now hook shot on cooldown, and that was also the Diffusal reveal. Thunder will be well aware of it, and immediately look at them. Like, the smoke is already going. They see an opportunity to go for a kill. They have this ward bottom. Finger not at the ready. Might need one more follow-up. They do have the Solar Guardian if they want to call for it. And Nightfall does show.
Leno is in it. Dark Margot.
Yeah, there he is.
Able to get him with a jump. And of course, once they get that opening stun, so much follow-up to make sure there's more than enough time to keep them in position, allows Sacred to connect with the ultimate and get whatever pick-off they look for here.
It's so fast the way they're moving. It feels like they're just constantly smoking and just swinging across the map. Just first they were top, now they're bottom within like 2 minutes afterwards. EG trying to get back them, trying to find...
See what they can get underneath this tower. I mean, they know that there's no Dawnbreaker able to head over and help out Picard.
And he walks in. He did see that ward, it looked like for a quick second. They're gonna go for him.
See if Thunder want to do anything about this. It will take a bit of time to take Panda down.
He's still alive.
In fact, if they can take him down at all, they can't. Panda able to walk away. Thunder, they'll happily take the fight that EG try and poke for us. Once again, EG attempting to make these moves, but just not quite able to get that catch onto Thunder as they wish for.
Thunder is just, they're reading the map better, honestly. The macro play so far has been perfect. Just like last game too, the wards that they've set up, it seems to just be doing every little thing and just keeping Thunder in a perfect position, not even losing their 5. And we're seeing the skill build from Picard. This is, you know, we've seen this so much now from the Morphs. You only need that 2 points in your attribute shift. So he is very scary if he turns up and fights. It's a ton of burst damage from waveform and from the adaptives early.
I mean, do you imagine if EG once this BKB's done on Nightfall, will they look to try and force a fight? So top lane Matthew, it's getting gone on, but Cars thinking about maybe trying to find something themselves out of this. Dark Margo's in with the jump, he's able to close the gap on Artini, he can burst straight through him! Able to jump straight over towards Artur at the back of the fight, throwing out the tips as well.
That is massive cause for concern. I mean, he's able to just almost one-shot him. Look how huge his Tiny is.
He's got an Echo Sip and the Brigand's Blade. It's so much damage from the combo once he gets on top of them.
And as we said, you know, the EG lineup, it's very fragile. Nightfall, as you mentioned, you know, the BKB, they're going to have to try to force something big with it. Some type of fights, because things, even though it's only a 1K gold lead for Thunder, it feels like it's starting to get quite a lot higher than that.
So yeah, again, Margo. Able to come in from the river, get the catch up to Arbet, toss back into the Hex, the fingers at the ready, Arbet gets burst.
They are just, the synergy on this team is insane right now. The toss, every single time, toss back into like a follow-up stun from either the Dawn or the Lion. Yeah, everything going their way. EG, they're crumbling right now. And it's, even when they have the BKB on Nightfall, I don't know, forcing a full fight might still be difficult. Arteezy's just dead if he walks into a fight, it feels like, so. Maybe for Nightfall, they can go look for some type of expedition with 3 heroes or 4 heroes and leave SF away, but I think going for a full team fight might be a disaster for Arteezy.
Absolutely, he's going to want to have no part of any fight until his own BKB's done, Arteezy. Still a bit of time until that will be out for him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're starting to feel very comfortable. You know, they made all these early moves. Now they're like, okay, we have a pretty damn good advantage right now. Sit back, finish up an item. I think they have the Matthew Blink Dagger also done, so they can even look to make these moves if EG does step out of position. Like, wow, they're just farming. And they've got the global threat, so things really looking amazing right now for Thunder. And they will actually also have carrier of that Wraith Pact, as we've seen Sacred do this in most of his games on his Dawn. He's got the Vlads, he's gonna be going for that. EG, they do not have that this time around. It's gonna be Crit who's trying to opt for it, but it's gonna take him a lot longer. Damage mitigation will cause problems. Cause already a Manta now.
Abed, very close to having the Blink, should have it ready for the next fight. So a chance for him to maybe get in and get that opening stun. So able to walk the river, now look at the pushback onto Sacred. Separated from the rest of the team by the cogs, but Chain Frost is out, and Darmar goes in with a jump! It's easy able to get off the single spell as the Shadow Fiend falls. See, Nightfall have to just opt for a BKB TP out of it.
Oh, and there's
no fight around the Roshan Thunder, they can look for this. I mean, we were saying it, Arteezy, there's just no place for him around these points of the map. He cannot turn up like this, he needs the BKB. We've seen every single time. If Dark Margo even catches a whiff of this SF showing up, he's on top of him every single time.
I'm gonna stop. That was like save your buddy syndrome.
Let's see Arbet. Arbet is gonna try and go for the steal here. Roshan not quite low enough for Arbet to finish off himself. He's gonna have to go for the TP out. He nearly does die during the Rolling Thunder. He'll be able to bail out in time. But not able to find the interruption around the pit that he hoped for. Thunder Awaken, they get the kill, they get the Aegis on Picard.
EG have to get the SF BKB to have any type of chance. I'm still just astonished that he showed up there as Nightfall on it. They're going for him.
They made the jump. They know that the BKB here for Nightfall on cooldown. Finger at the ready. Nightfall, he's got the stick charges, the static links, but there's nowhere to run. Picard finishes him off with the adaptive strike.
18-8. It just feels like all over the place for the last 10 minutes. It's just been Thunder making every single move successfully.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
EG, yeah, BKB still not finished up.
And look at Thunder, they're ready to go for more. The triangle hit, Crip. Tries to turn us down his round with the ultimate. He's able to get him with the stun for the rebound. Matthew able to line up a 2-man stun here. Return catches both supports out. 2 more dead on EG.
There's Sacred just runs in. Frost Shield drops Wraith Pact. He's good to go. EG fully crumbling right now. Thunder just taking advantage of every single one of these moves. And still looking to play aggressive. Look at Mago chilling in the enemy jungle. Pakaz on the bottom side. There's nowhere for EG to go.
It's so difficult for EG in this sort of position. I mean, this is the thing as well. Even done for Arteezy, with the kind of lineup that Thunder have and the way that they play, you've got to be so ready to press it, right? There's so many ways to bait it out or indeed just catch him before he even gets a chance to react.
Yeah, there's a very high chance he won't even get off. And even if he does get it off, now at this point, do they even have damage? Is their lineup actually going to be able to do anything with these BKBs? Or are they just going to use these BKBs to stall out a long, inevitable
There we
death.
go. The BKB is there for Arteezy, but the same to be said for Dark Margot. He's going to have even less fear if that's even possible.
He's just in.
There he is. For the jump, Nightfall immediately pops the BKB. They're just terrified of EG. There's the jump on you. He's going to find the Hex onto Arteezy. The step forward. A perfect jump there from Thunder causes the death of Artur behind the tier 2s. Once again, Thunder's favorite place to fight. Falls 3 dead on EG. They're ready to go past the tier 4. Dark Margot in with the avalanche. 4 dead. Evil geniuses, as it's just too much for them, Fog.
They are just feeling themselves fully. Yeah, last 13 minutes, it's all theirs. Even since the last game, it's been all theirs too. EG starting to feel like they don't really have much gas left.
I mean, Thunder, they're going to keep this going. They've still got minutes left on the Aegis here for Picard.
I mean, look at this. Like you said, they see Arteezy, they just immediately jump him.
I mean, watch
Hex.
Matthew.
See you later.
He knows that's all he needs to do at this stage. He gets that opening Hex. And suddenly, there's no way, nothing that EG can do to provide any sort of time or safety to allow Arteezy to live through that initial disable and get his BKB off. He's just not going to get the chance.
A 9k lead versus this Morphling who nearly has the Ags done. Like you said, they've got the Blink, they've got the BKBs, but it feels like they've really lost too much of the window.
This is the only way that EG can take fights. Even with having the BKB, they have to do it off the back of the smoke. They cannot be the ones getting jumped, because we've seen every single team fight where Thunder's able to have some sort of information. They'll always find the opening that they need.
But do they have the damage now at this point with this when they're this far behind? There's a Solar Guardian that's gonna come in.
They get the opening round with Thunder. See the ult coming in from Sacred. Didn't have enough damage. Dark Margot only gets pushed down to half HP. He's ready for the BKB turn. Takedown crit. Push up there from Fly, but the heavy hits here from Thunder. Take him down as well. Stun, Hex locked down onto Arbet. 3 dead on EG.
They want more.
And Nightfall is up on the cliff. He'll opt for a TP out. Same to be said for Arteezy, as the 2 cores will manage to escape here with a BKB TP. But again, they're just having to run. They're just having to back away. And this is not what they needed to be happening once they had these BKBs come out. They just came a little too late, and a few too many fights taken beforehand that just put EG too far behind. It seems impossible now for them to take any sort of fight against Thunder.
Yeah, that was them. Like, I think they were trying to take advantage of that Sacred was dead. Maybe they can burst a hero, but he respawned right when they get the jump, has the Solar Guardian, and yeah, Dark Margot's BKB comes up like 1 second afterwards. He gets it off. Thunder just, yeah, playing to perfection, really.
Extra agi and attack speed he's able to take with the Ags. Just tearing through the buildings. Nothing that EG can do to push him back in.
You know how they're feeling right now on the side of EG. They're just like, wow, yeah, I don't know if we can ever take another fight. They're going to have to hope that Thunder really just oversteps their bounds and kind of throws this one away, because it's feeling impossible to ever kill this Morph, or pretty much anyone but Sacred, any of those cores except for that Dawnbreaker.
Car's just so far ahead. I mean, same to be said for Dark Margot. Both of these cores easily 5k gold ahead of their counterparts at this stage, this early stage as well, just 25 minutes in. A period of the game that, in terms of the group stage performances, EG, they've been reveling in the earlier wins. But Thunder very much showing that they have the ability to shut down EG so early. EG just can't get that footing, can't get that momentum that's enabled them to pop up as they have been in the group stage.
And EG did get the first blood that they've been like looking for, I think. I know in this game, I don't remember the last one.
What a Matthew! He's gonna get the 2-man setup here. Actually trying to follow up on a Nightfall. Sacred, pretty beefy, and with the finger burst off to Fly. He's gonna get taken out. Arbet dies off to the side again. Nightfall and Arteezy, all they can do with their BKBs is BKB and TP out. They cannot fight them.
No damage. Now they can't even kill Sacred at this point. They've gotten him in the first few of one of those fights, but yeah, he just drops the raid pack. There's no damage.
Fear my presence.
Together around the defense. That EG can try and go for it in terms of punishing Thunder when they go for the high ground. Matthew,
he showed himself.
They know he's in the trees somewhere. Matthew's gonna go for the blind stun.
They're still just gonna chase him.
The Jukes are there from Arteezy, but Matthew, he'll still be able to chase him out. Hex is there, and on top of him with the combo. Tips once again being thrown in the way of Arteezy. But Picard.
And to answer the question of the comeback on the high ground, they don't have the team with the tiny. They don't have these toss-back plays. They're quite impossible. On to the next Rax. It's going to drop in seconds.
30 seconds without Arteezy.
under attack.
30
But
to 9.
that looks to matter too much considering the state of the last few fights we've had. He has the buyback back up.
And they just have to watch, even with Arteezy.
Oh, quick link there. Bev will be able to avoid the catch of Dark Margot this time round. The top racks, it's gone.
Top barracks have fallen.
They're just too far ahead now. No fights really, it feels like. EG said they gotta just hope the Thunder oversteps massively, even a couple times, because 1 or 2 times won't do it. Or he throws or something, but yeah, Thunder. Phenomenal play. All game, it's just been relentless aggression.
不反哺正补，我又反哺啦！
Thunder awaken, they can look towards that bottom lane. Push forward towards that final tier 2 standing on Avicii's side of the map.
They don't have to really go much of anywhere else now. I think the Scotty's about to be finished for Pakaz as well too. He's 2-3 items ahead of his counterpart. And all of EG. It feels like they haven't even hit a creep in these last, what, 5 minutes or something.
Definitely feels like they're running out of fallback plans to be able to sort of rectify the state of this game.
Arteezy can't even finish getting souls. He just has to sit in the tree lines with his team. Because even if he if he shows himself, he might just die immediately. Look at Matthew. Immediately whips himself. He's like, let's go.
Got the scan EG, so they know that Thunder Awaken's there, but really too much they can do with that info apart from continue to stay hidden in the tree line.
Matthew knows. He's in.
Oh, he's in with the jump! Straight away with that X, they pass through Fly Nightfall, wants the BKB in. Heads in with a wave forward, takes out Nightfall immediately. Sacred committing it deep, Starbreaker still lands onto Arteezy. Arteezy will pop the BKB. Armand's in with the start, on top of the Dawnbreaker, but the finger burst, the Hex is there. They lock down Arteezy, the SF will fall. Arbed, the only one to get out.
GG.
As there it is, GG is called.
Wow.
Thunder Awaken turn up here in the third series of the playoffs here at the International Level and take down EG 2-0, knocking them down to the lower bracket. And this was a pretty severe knockdown.
Oh, yeah. First game was close. Very even through the majority of it. This one, Thunder came to play. They knew exactly what EG was going to do, and they did give EG that Shadow Fiend again, and still able to just defeat it with ease.
Absolutely, the preparation very much showing from Thunder Awaken coming into this series.